Warner Brothers just teased the next NetherRealm game, and it's not looking good for Injustice fans. That's right, because not only did WB confirm its focus on big franchises, but also the senior animator for Mortal Kombat also confirmed that he's working on the next game. So yeah, all of these hints point towards another Mortal Kombat game, but don't lose hope, Injustice fans, because nothing is impossible. So far, we only have hints, and while I personally do think another Mortal Kombat game is 80% likely, that's not 100%, so there's still a chance. But let me know in the comments down below which game you want next the most, Injustice 3 or another Mortal Kombat game. Not Mortal Kombat 1. Okay, not again. Then while you're down there, leave a like for future NetherRealm games in general, because I'm just happy that more games are confirmed after the recent merger with Paramount. I just made a full video covering that drama situation if you want to check it out. Another day means more Mortal Kombat news, so to stay up to date, make sure you subscribe below and ring that bell so you never miss any future content. And without any further ado everyone, let's begin. Warner Brothers has begun teasing their next games immediately after the Paramount merger, and Mortal Kombat is looking very likely. So that's bad news for Injustice fans. However, there could be an Injustice cross Mortal Kombat, maybe that's possible. But to give you a full picture of what's happening in this whole situation, I'm gonna break it down. There's two really big hints pointing towards a Mortal Kombat game. First up is this tweet from Jeff Keighley himself. Warner Brothers games will return to some of our biggest franchises in 2027, 2028, says WB Games CEO JB Peretti. If that's how you say his name, I've got no idea. But yeah, big franchises. So that's definitely not Injustice. That series is relatively new. Definitely not a big franchise to be sure. So that's big hint number one, that the next NetherRealm game is going to be Mortal Kombat. However, I can already hear many of you asking, Underdog, how do we know that means a NetherRealm game, period? Warner Brothers has lots of companies in its game division. So what if this tweet means Hogwarts Legacy 2 or another Batman Arkham game? Surely those games could also be in the works. How do we know another NetherRealm game is even coming? Because Mortal Kombat 1 did underperform a little bit, so maybe Warner Brothers is done with NetherRealm. They're gonna shut down the entire company. Well, thankfully that's not the case, because get this, a senior animator at NetherRealm Studios straight up said, "We're cooking." That's right, which implies he's gonna be working on the next game. He's the senior animator at NetherRealm, and he straight up tweeted, "I'm cooking, baby. I'm starting work on a new game." And his choice of words is also a big deal, because Warner Brothers themselves also said, "We're cooking." So yeah, they're both using the same lingo on purpose. That's not a coincidence. But alright everyone, before going any further, I want to tell you about a really cool Mortal Kombat product starting on Kickstarter. Listen up. Today's video is sponsored by Cryptozoic, and check out their newest Mortal Kombat collaboration. It's live on Kickstarter. Back it now via the link below for exclusive rewards and to help unlock stretch goals. All of our favorite Mortal Kombat characters are here with their fatalities and other memorable moves straight from the game. You can get the base game, 2 cover choices, 3 expansions, playmats, acrylic standees, and more. All of the art is original too, created just for this game. Yeah, their Kickstarter has so many cool exclusives and awesome stretch goals. Play as your favorite Mortal Kombat characters, choose your own playstyle, perform awesome combos, build powerful decks, and unleash devastating fatalities. It's a dynamic 2-player experience and optimized so more players can join the mayhem. But there's also lots of strategy and counterplay by customizing your deck for unique gameplay strategies. Partner with an ally for the 2v2 Deadly Alliance expansion. Pass cards, form unique strategies, and work together to smash the enemy team. I'm talking unique strategies with 10 new 2v2 combatants, all with teamwork combo abilities. And because it's Mortal Kombat 1, of course there's a cameo expansion. Summon 21 classic Mortal Kombat cameo characters from across the franchise's history. Each card delivers iconic moves, tactical support, and a dose of pure Mortal Kombat nostalgia. As you can see everyone, this new Mortal Kombat game is freaking awesome, so check out my link down below to back this Kickstarter today and unlock tons of exclusives for yourself and awesome stretch goals for others. Alright, and back to the video. Let's hop on PC Gamer to learn more about Warner Brothers' new direction with their gaming division specifically. So Mortal Kombat, a bit of Harry Potter, some of the Batman Arkham games, you get the idea. After practically disappearing for 2 years, Warner Warner Brothers Games will return to some of its biggest franchises starting in next year. Yeah, so like mentioned earlier, this all but confirms that NetherRealm's gonna be working on a Mortal Kombat game and most likely not an Injustice game. As for Warner Brothers Discovery's gaming business, Peretti acknowledged that 2025 was a great year of reset, after the division got distracted going after too many IPs with a too broad set of studios. This year, Warner Brothers Discovery is slated to release a new Lego Batman game and a Game of Thrones themed mobile game dubbed Dragonfire. Obviously that doesn't interest us very much, right? I'm a Mortal Kombat guy, I like the Batman games too, but Lego Batman, not my cup of tea. So let's keep reading. The real fruits will start coming in 27-28, when we return to some of our biggest franchises, he said. Peretti didn't specify any titles, but it's likely he was referencing the push for a studio to release a Hogwarts Legacy game sequel that will coincide with the debut of HBO's Harry Potter series and a Mortal Kombat game. Just kidding, I'm adding that part on there myself. But yeah, big things are happening at Warner Brothers after merging with Paramount. Anyways, I digress. The whole point of this segue was to show you that I'm not going off tweets on X alone, alright? I'm also considering direct quotes from the owners of the studios themselves, right? The game division lead himself said, yeah, we're focusing on big franchises. So that points towards Mortal Kombat and not so much Injustice 3. But real quick, my personal thoughts on this whole situation. Am I happy about Mortal Kombat over Injustice 3? Honestly, it's a mixed bag for me because gaming is how I make money too. It's not just my hobby. So as a result, I'm kind of conflicted. Gameplay wise, I'd prefer Injustice 3. It just sounds more fresh in my mind. And also I love the Injustice series. Big combos go brrr. Also, the rushdown characters are amazing. Too much keep away and zoning, but if NetherRealm just tones that down, Injustice would be better than Mortal Kombat gameplay wise. I'm just gonna say it because that really is how I feel. I think the Injustice games have the potential to be the best NetherRealm games out there. The problem is all the damn zoning and keep away. It's so annoying. In fact, it's so annoying that NetherRealm invented a whole gimmick gameplay system to get around the zoning in Injustice 2, and it didn't work because the zoning was that overpowered. But alright, I'm getting off topic. The gamer in me would prefer Injustice 3, not only because it would be refreshing, but also I want to see what's happening with the story. Apparently it kept going in the comic books with a He-Man crossover, which sounds crazy and made up, but no, that actually happened. There's a He-Man comic tie-in that has the Injustice characters and is technically a sequel. Then fast forward a couple years, and apparently Injustice Superman is just in the DC universe now. Like, he straight up appeared and is canon in the mainline comic series, which also sounds made up, but no, it's true. A lot of things are happening with the Injustice story, but I want it to be in the game itself. So Injustice 3 would keep that story going, and I want to see what's happening. Because I love DC. I'm a comic book fan first, actually, before a gamer. I've been reading comic books since I was a little bitty kid, and before that, my parents would read the comic books for me because I wasn't able to read yet. So yeah, comic books mean a lot to me personally. However, the job side of me is like, please make another Mortal Kombat because that means more views, which means more money, and also my channel would grow faster too, because let's be real, Injustice is just not as popular as the Mortal Kombat series. But once again, I digress. The business side of me definitely wants a Mortal Kombat sequel because that would just do better for my channel, and also it's what you all want to see. I should add that part as well, because the numbers don't lie, right? The views on my channel don't lie. When I make a Mortal Kombat video, it always does better than any other fighting game. Whether it's Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, or Injustice, my Mortal Kombat videos always do better, which shows me my audience wants to see that game above all else, which is completely fine. This channel is for you guys. I made this channel for the audience. That's just how it works. So with all that in mind, half of me is excited at the idea of a Mortal Kombat sequel, especially if it goes away from Mortal Kombat 1. They've already introduced the multiverse stuff, which I mostly do not like. However, there is one tiny upside to the multiverse shenanigans, and that's the new game taking place in a different reality that's way more similar to the traditional Mortal Kombat series that we all know and love. So for example, maybe in this timeline, Raiden recreated the universe and just made a typical Mortal Kombat world that we all love and enjoy. Scorpion is back to being Scorpion, Havoc is back to Chaos Realm, all that stuff returns and all the annoying changes are done. Cyrax and Sector are back to being guys, you get the idea. Also, Johnny Cage has his green glow abilities back, yada yada yada. That could actually happen in the next Mortal Kombat game thanks to the multiverse shenanigans. Otherwise, I don't like multiverse. In fact, I downright hate it. Along with time travel, I think it's impossible to write. However, pretty much everything has a silver lining, and this is no different, right? The multiverse allows us to go to a different Mortal Kombat universe where things are more gritty and violent and dark and edgy, which is what I think think many fans would like, myself included. But alright everyone, that's about it for the recent hints and stuff on social media that points towards Mortal Kombat and not so much Injustice. However, nothing is confirmed as of yet, it's just hints, and even if those hints do point in a specific direction, Injustice 3 is not off the table. It could happen, and in fact we could have Mortal Kombat versus Injustice. That would be really cool. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Every single like and comment on this video does help it do better in the algorithm. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.